connected after the guest speaker is done with the lectures. So I'll just proceed to having to read the profile of our guest speaker. So Mr. Nelson Dominic graduated from the prestigious Lagos State University with a bachelor's degree in English language. He proceeded to clinching his master's of business administration in human resource management in same Lagos State University with a distinction. Over the years, he has worked in different industries spanning across the healthcare, FMCG, and IT industry, to mention a few. In the year 2015, he worked with Ebonyi State Agency for Mass Literacy as an English language facilitator, after which he moved on to working as a financial advisor for Royal Exchange Healthcare Limited. He further took a leap with Nestle Nigeria, first as a compliance assistant and eventually as an HR and employee relations assistant. In addition, he proceeded to Whitfield Ventures Limited, where he spent about 2 years working as a human resource officer before moving on to Polaris Digital Limited, taking up similar role. In December 2018, he took up the role of a senior talent associate with RED for Africa. And in the year 2020, he was conferred the vice chairman of programs and projects for Association of Elite Human Resource Professional, AEHRP. Mr. Nelson Dominic currently works with M Pharma as a human resource business partner, global supply chain and finance, which is across 9 countries, as well as a country HR operations manager in Nigeria. He is also a chartered member, Nigeria Institute of Management. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome for our guest speaker tonight, Mr. Nelson Dominic. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Victoria.
Pleasure to have you tonight. So, distinguished guests, kindly welcome our guest speaker tonight with your favorite emoji on the chat box. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you very much, Victoria. I must say first that you did a good job in trying to with your research, because I'm sure so personally for me, I do not like titles, and so because of that, I do not like to give out my profile or give out, oh, this is where I work, or I just tell you HR professional, right? When even when the host reached out to me, I told him, oh, HR professional is fine, let's leave titles out of it. He called to ask for a profile. I told him, I don't have a profile, don't worry. But then I saw that you did your research well. You had gone to my LinkedIn, so well done. And thank you for that. But guys, forget all those plenty long story shared here. I'm just that HR professional trying to make a difference in HR space in Nigeria. I have a favorite hashtag, not your usual HR body. And then that hashtag came up, from a time where when I wanted to start in HR, I saw so many lapses and how HR people position themselves as some demi and semi-god in Nigeria, and how there were so many not so great best practices happening in HR space. And so all of those things were things I wanted to see that with my influence, my affluence, and as I grew in my career, I could change, right? And I'm happy to say that we're making progress in that direction. So I'm just that young HR person, just trying to make a difference in the industry. Forget the title, forget every other thing you can read about. Yeah, let's go straight to the conversation this evening. We're talking about performance. And we're looking to demystify the concepts of performance. You join a business, for instance, you get a role, you get something you're doing, and then you're asked to deliver on some set KPIs. At the end of a review period, say probation period or media review or year-end review, your manager comes to you to say, oh, you have not met the expectations of the business, expectations of the team. And if you're on this call and you're working at the moment, you will know that for conversations like that, performance conversations are used to make several business decisions, right? Ranging from bonuses, salary increase, promotion, new department, new role, different things, different decisions are made from performance conversations. And so you come to a media review, a year-end review, or a professional review, for instance, and then you are told, oh, you have not met expectation. And they're telling you, use the door, you can go. Or they're telling you, we cannot promote you in the next 1-2 years. Or you cannot get a salary increase because you have not performed. And then you are worried, you're crying. You are going to your family WhatsApp group and to your friends and to your fellow gossips in the company to say, oh, I've not been promoted. My manager is a bad person. He says I'm not performing. I sit on a job. I work from morning till night. I'm the last person to close. I'm the first to resume. My email back to back. Yet he's telling me I'm not performing. Then the question I want to ask you is, if you ever think that being busy equates performance, you are wrong. That's the first thing I want us to clarify here. If being busy is your own definition of, oh, I am working, I am performing, you are wrong. Again, if meeting all of your KPIs, I say that emphatically, if meeting all of your KPIs is why you think you are a top performer, you are wrong. I would explain, right? They've told you deliver on XYZ, 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 and you meticulously, religiously, and judiciously delivered on those XYZs. And then you feel, oh, I'm a top performer because I have ticked the boxes. You are not a top performer. You are just somebody who is just striving to get by, who is striving to tick boxes, who is not performing at the optimal. Let me make an attempt to explain or define what we talk about performance. Now, high performance is we can define high performance as producing results much better than expected. I'll say that again. We can define high performance as producing results much better than expected. Now, Braden Butcher defines high performance as succeeding above and beyond standard over a long period of time. So the fact that you delivered so well on the customer requests excellently for 2 weeks does not necessarily make you a top performer in an organization. But being able to deliver above and beyond over a period of time makes you a high performer. Not ticking the boxes, not meeting your KPIs. We do not define high performance experiences as those, as just world-class results. Although world-class results may bring you some occasional outcomes, but then you define high performance as a way you place the experience beyond all but the gifted few. There are 10 people in the team. If everybody in that team are meeting their KPI as you, then how do you define high performance? In my organization, for instance, I'll give you an example. Every period we have what we call the talent assessment on a half-year basis, where we assess each of our talents on 2 criteria. First criteria is performance, second criteria potential. And when we talk about performance, these are 3 things to looking at, 3 indicators, 3 KPIs to determine if this person is a performer or not. Number 1, they manage to deliver against their KPIs despite whatever circumstances, difficulty, whatever it is, they deliver their KPI. That's 1. Number 2, they demonstrate values in everything that he or she does and can be trusted to deliver. There's no doubt from your manager, there's no doubt from anyone that you can deliver. You demonstrate the company core values, you demonstrate the company's behavior, you are top-notch when it comes to behavioral patterns in the organization. Number 3, you look for ways to increase impact. What's your impact on the team? What's your impact on the business? What's your impact on the customer? Can we say that by reason of your activity or you being part of that team, there is a significant increase in customer satisfaction? Say, for instance, you're a customer-facing person. Or you can say by reason of your impact or deliverables, there is a turnaround time in employees in solving employees' complaint, which therefore relates or triples down to employee engagement as an HR person. Can we therefore say as a finance person that because of your quick turnaround time monthly financial reports, you are able to track excess spend and save the company of some millions of dollars? This is exactly what we're talking about. We say going above and beyond. So just doing your job, for instance, that in a way that does not in any way relate to what the business is trying to achieve, does not necessarily make you in any way a performer. Again, I say the ability to go above and beyond. That's number one. Going above and beyond, number one. Number two, the ability to be able to demonstrate core values of the organization. Number three, demonstrating on your KPIs. And I say to people, being a top performer, being an high performing organization, it's a mindset, right? I do not like to sit around people who say, I've done my best, I'm going home. I'm only paid. Yes, we understand. I'm only paid for 9 to 5. You see, why that is the truth. If you have that mindset as an employee, you can never deliver above and beyond. Oh, it's not my father's company. You know, we say these things as joke, right? They are valid if they remain as joke. But when those things translate into your mindset and be at the back of your head, there's no way you would deliver 100%, not talk of 101% on your job. Oh, my father is not the owner of the company. I've done my best for the day. Those kind of snidey comments that we make as employees as joke at times are okay as jokes. But when they get to the point where they begin to sit in our subconscious, it begins to affect how much time, how much, what's the word not to use, how much impact we can have on our team. And again, like I said earlier on, high performance is not necessarily doing your job. It is you going above and beyond. And I gave 3 criteria immediately earlier on to say, number one, you are delivering on your KPIs. Number 2, you are demonstrating the core values of the organization. Number 3, also, you are also, what's the third one now? KPIs, values. And the third one is that you are going above and beyond, right? All the time to ensure that you are delivering on your KPIs. High performance is relevant to everyone, right? It's a personal thing. And you must use your personal high performance patterns to achieve these things. Right? And like I said, it's a mindset. How do you as an employee develop this mindset, right? To be able to help you to say, oh, I am an high performer. You know, the funny thing is that as employees, we can sit and judge ourselves and say, oh, I'm a good employee. I deliver well. But if you look at yourself from the lenses of your manager or from your business or from the business, do you think you are delivering? Do you think you're a high performer? Now, there are 3 ways, you know, we can talk about, you know, how to have a growth mindset and high performance mindset, right? So able to help you innovate and lead to success. But before I like the 3 ways, I like to say some things, right, that a high performance mindset is a mental tool for increasing your competence and self-improvement to excel in a high pressure environment. Oh, there's pressure here, customer. Yes, we know. But in that same pressure, people the business will never joke with. Why are you different? Right? That mindset is a mental tool that you use to increase your competence. See, winning or losing starts from the mind. When you choose to deliver minimal work, it is from your mind and you will definitely deliver minimal work. But when you choose to, you know what, no matter what's happening here, I must deliver excellently, you will definitely deliver excellently. So it's a mental tool that we must develop to increase our competence. It is often said that leaders with high-performing mindsets have no limit to their growth. Individuals, organizations, managers with high-performing mindset have no limits to their growth and success. You know, I used to joke, right? I used to joke with people. I said, in my entire almost 8 years in my career, there's no performance review I have done as an individual that I have not exceeded expectation. If you work in the corporate business here, you know what we call expectation. You know, there's this meet expectation, slightly above expectation, partially below expectation, or not with expectation. There is no review I've done in my entire life, work life, that I have not exceeded expectation. And that's because for me, I learned early in life, I learned early in my career life that these things first from a mindset, right? You define success in terms of exceeding your potential. You're pursuing new grounds. You're exploring other ways to do things better. You are daring. You have your focus. Your laser focus is there. You're still on a mission. No matter the failure, no matter the defeat, you follow it. Now, when Jeff Bezos wanted to start Amazon, you know, he started first from an online bookstore. But today, Amazon has gone beyond an online bookstore to be one of the biggest logistics companies in the world, raking in millions of dollars on an hourly basis. Now, if you look at Bezos' quest for dominating the world over the years, you will only ever wonder, how does he do it? And I say to you that it's from a place where you practice a high performance mindset. When you set the bar low, trust me, you will achieve below that bar you have set. When you set the bar high, even when you fall, you will come to the point where you meet it. But because most time we want to set the bar, I just want to meet it, you will never meet it. But when you set the bar to say, oh, I need to go above and beyond, I'm expected to deliver 5 million naira as a salesperson. I want to deliver 7 million naira this month. You will find out that if you thrive with that mindset, there's no way you will not deliver 6 million naira. And tell me, when you deliver that, so your business will definitely take you as an important person. You can train yourself to live with this mindset. Build resilience. You are daring, and your mind is innovative. Now, there are 3 ways which you can lead with a high, performance mindset. Number 1 is you master discipline and excellence. I say to people, it all begins from the point of discipline, right? I am disciplined enough to know that excellence is a mindset. Excellence is a mindset. I will not accept any job that is below par. I will not deliver any job that is below par. I will not give my boss a slide and he will have to correct me 10 times on that slide. I will not give my boss a report and he will pick errors on that report for 5 times. That mindset is what will help you first. It's the first thing. Master discipline, the discipline to be consistent, the discipline to focus and sit down and get that job done excellently. The ability to summon, just like Jeff Bezos' intelligence, the grace and confidence is developed through rigorous discipline and training over time. It is the core component of the high-performing mindset, a tough mind with an unlimited capacity to deliver under extreme pressure, right? It's a mindset to deliver no matter what. Discipline is the goal, excellence is the goal. Number 2, maintain a laser-like focus. This is the goal. No matter what comes in, my eyes still focus on the goal, right? Maintaining focus is one. You need a vision, right? A vision, it is something that you will always come back to if you get confused. Why am I doing this? I say to people, when your boss tells you to do something, do not just ask him how to do it. Ask him, why am I doing this? Because understanding the why will keep you focused on the goal. When you don't understand the why, you're only doing that thing as a ticking the box to just satisfy your boss. But when you understand the why to why you are getting something done, it is easy to understand. So I see people understand the why for why you're doing everything you're doing. Why do you have that tax? Why do you have that goal? Why do you have that KPI? Why do you have that OKR? Why is it a business objective at this time? What is the why? Now, when you understand that why, it helps your focus to be, it gives you a laser focus on that thing. You maintain your focus no matter what. You're staying on vision without emotion, without bias, without distraction. Number 3, dare to think differently. You see, like I said, everybody's thinking, oh, I'm not going to go beyond like this. This is the maximum I can go. My father is going to have the company. I've delivered my 2 cents for the day. All of those things are good as bant and jokes, but when they creep into your mindset, they affect you. Learn to think differently. Think beyond how every other employee would think in the organization. Think from that point of, what, this has to be done. High-performing people, they win by daring to think, really try to solve difficult problems. Do not just drop difficult problems on your managers and supervisors. Go back to them. Oh, there's a problem. This is how I think I want to solve it. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Not, sir, there's a problem. I don't know what to do. You're only showing that you are just that person who will tell, move, you move, come, you go. There's no way you will be an high-performing employee. Remember, I'll take your questions now, so I don't overshoot my time. But remember, I started this conversation from the point where I said that you cannot call yourself an high-performing employee if all you do is just to tick boxes. If all you do is you meet all your KPIs, that is not what makes you a performer, right? What makes you a performer, as far as the workplace is concerned, is your ability to go above and beyond, is your ability to be innovative, is your ability to be creative, is your ability to be able to solve problems, is your ability to be able to understand the why to which you're doing stuff, not just to tick a box and move on, right? High performing teams for me, like I said from the beginning, is number 1, you're delivering your KPIs. Number 2, you are demonstrating the core values of your organization. Number 3, you are showing high potential Number three, you're looking for ways to increase your impact. You're showing high potential to deliver above and beyond. I would like to take a pause here so I don't overshoot our time. But I just hope that I've been able to, in a way, give an introduction, right, to make you understand that the concept of high performance is not what most of us think high performance is. Like I said, it is we being able to go above and beyond, having a mindset of grit and resilience. It starts from the mind. Now, so the mind can solve and get a hand of, you know what? Excellent. I tell you, excellence is a mindset. I cannot thrive in a place where there's no excellence. You cannot do things. You cannot just do things anywhere around me. I'm sorry. Especially when it comes to the job, you would have issues, right? So when you have that mindset of excellence, right, it begins to affect how you do your deliverables. And then you find out that you then go above and beyond as expected in your deliverables. I'll take a pause here for comments, questions, suggestions as we go on.
Thank you so much. I mean, I have a whole lot of take home right now. And yeah, I don't know if you have questions. You could just start dropping them in, or you could just raise your hand to signify that you have questions. So we could just so we'll use this time to respond to your concerns. Anyone? Okay, so while we have them probably typing in their questions, let me quickly throw in my own personal question.
Somebody raised his hands. Somebody, yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Somebody's hands is up.
Okay, can we have the person on mute and ask?
All right, good evening, everybody.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, so my name is Mr. Gobir. I have this question. So throughout the lecture, so I actually understand that for you to be a top performer, you have to actually exceed expectation. So in the bit of trying to exceed the expectation, a lot of people actually fall sick. You know, they have there is also some mental health issues and all that. How can we kind of leverage that and to make it easier for us to kind of perform and at the same time to regulate our own mental health?
Yeah, I like that question, right? We're in environments where most times we joke about it. Oh, my mental health is impacted. Oh, I cannot stress myself. And truly, for some people, really, it affects them. If you started this conversation when we started, I mentioned something around that being busy doesn't mean you're performing. Being physical. See, most times it is even more mental to deliver, right? To be an high performer than being physical. Being physical is the least of it, right? Now, there's a conversation around, oh, my mental health, except you are working in a very toxic environment. There is no way where you would be going above and beyond and it affects your mental health. Or except you are then working in a place where you have to do physical duties, say for instance in a warehouse or so, right? It will affect your health. Most times when people's health are affected on the job, it could be for some reasons. For instance, if they are doing some physical work or they're doing some long commute to work. So you live in Abulegba, you work in Aja, for instance, and you go every day, you are killing yourself. There's no way you will even be a top performer because you get to work past 9, you are already tired. You get to your house 10 p.m. There's no way you want to be a top performer, honestly. There's no way, right? So that's one factor. But aside from the fact that either you are doing long commutes or you are doing physical work, physical duties, or you are lifting or whatever it is, I struggle to see how, or except for instance, you are working long hours. And I say to people, what most young professionals lack is time management. And that's a different conversation from this conversation, right? We feel we have too much to do. But the truth is we have so much time we waste during the day. The average employee is on WhatsApp 4 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours of the 8 hours they spend in the office. From WhatsApp to YouTube, no matter what you say, you come to your office, for instance, you check your emails, deal with this, you get up, go and this with the next colleague, come back, you go for lunch, come back, you're on WhatsApp attending to this person. You find that if you calculate all of those hours, right, you'll spend at least 2-3 hours of that whole 8 hours you spend in the office not doing anything productive. Of course, those things are okay to help your mind take some work, ergonomics and all of that. But you find that most of us lack time management. And so you find that some young professionals will then begin to spend extended time beyond normal to deliver on tasks they would have delivered during their working hours. And for some people, more like what's the word to use now? It then becomes more like an eye service. And then you then begin to complain to say, I'm delivering on my best, I'm doing my best, I close late, all of that, I fall sick. All of these conversations, really, if you understand the concept of time management, and there are several courses on YouTube, right? In fact, I used to struggle with focus on time management. And then I went on YouTube and I saw these Pomodoro techniques. Write it down, somebody, you may need it. Pomodoro techniques, right? It is that technique by which, is it 30-20 rules? You work for 30 minutes and you just take your eyes away for like 20 seconds or something, doing something outside of work, in a way to see that while you're also trying to take your focus away from work, you're also doing it in a very professional way and not just wasting time away. So I'll say to us that except you're working in a toxic environment, and for me, if you're in a toxic place, I'll tell you exit. There's no way you want to perform in a toxic place, right? But if you're working in a sane environment, except you are doing physical work, the chances that you affect your mental health or cause you sickness is slim. Except again, you are committing long distance to work, right? To solve this problem, most times it is a good use of our time. Understanding the time management techniques, understanding how to use our time would help us to see that there's a balance between our work, our health, and our mental health.
All right, thank you so much, sir. I believe you've done justice to that question. So there are more questions coming in. Let me just quickly read them out. So the first question here is from Mr. Oluwashogo Odefila. Yeah, the question is, how can I maintain the line between going over the top performance and over ambitious, which is seen as a negative index in the workplace?
Thank you, Shugo. I saw your question and I can relate 100%. I say to people, right, when you are in the workplace, and there's a thin line, right? There's a thin line between eye service, and being a top performer. And again, high performance doesn't mean you are always in the face of your manager or people say, oh, he's doing eye service, right? You are going above and beyond. So you are expected to deliver this report, say, by 10 a.m. But by 7 a.m., your report is already delivered. You've delivered the report in a way that there's little or no error to correct. You've delivered that report in a way that is giving the business an idea of where to save costs or where to make some improvement on, right? You're going above and beyond there, right? Now, when you're also doing all of these things, I said to people, I said, people who are performing high in the workplace are people, from my own experience, are people that some of us will sit down and gossip about and say, oh, he's doing eye service. But you see that person you say is doing eye service every year, year in, year out, that person is getting a promotion. That person is getting salary increase. But you sit down there and be saying he's doing eye service, right? A thin line, and I said to employees, except again in a toxic place, there's nothing like being overambitious. Except if you know truly within you that you are trying to be overly and unnecessarily competitive. To say, let them see me, that I'm the best among the pack. That mindset of no other person knows this, I'm the smartest in the room. If that is your mindset, you may be wrong. While we know you are smart, if you come with that mindset, you will not know when you begin to play some dirty politics that will now begin to bring some negative index. So because you want to prove I'm the smartest in the room and all of those things, you then begin to misbehave, even though you are smart and you're good, right? So there's a thin line you must watch, right? I'm going above and beyond. But I'm also ensuring that the mindset behind this thing I'm doing is not being overly committed and trying to be like the best in the pack, right? And if you are doing that with the right mindset, ignore anybody that will call it eye service. I've experienced that several times in my work of career, right? People say, is it the only one? There's a global call, Nelson, that's your business, right? I am delivering value to the business. The business is seeing the value, appreciating it. You don't matter in the larger scheme of things. You get it. And so For me, you understand what your mindset is at the beginning and ensure that your mindset is not important. I'm trying to be accommodative, but I'm trying to ensure that I'm delivering above and beyond. It starts from the mind, right? And trust me, you'll be noticed. People will definitely talk, oh, you're doing that service, oh, it's too ambitious. If that talk is coming from your line manager, then you have to be concerned and ask him, oh, sir, why do you think I'm over ambitious? Oh, this is why I think I'm doing X, Y, Z. Not because, if there's an understanding between you and your line manager, please forget it and keep doing the best you can do.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. I believe Shogo, that question has been clarified. You could just confirm that in the chat box also. So we have a comment here. Maybe you might want to throw light on what Chiedozie dropped. He said, thank you for your lecture. Hope you would agree that sometimes salary, sorry, let me get this right.
I get it.
Okay, so hope you agree that sometimes salary not there can affect one. Okay, I think he's trying to say that salary sometimes tend to motivate one. So if there's no salary, there tends to be no motivation.
I will answer this question in a way that some people may not appreciate, but that's the truth. And because I have a personal experience here, I say to people that for me, right, I think I'm just at that point in my career where I think I'm reaping the dividend of a career. Money is good, salary is good. But if every of your motivation is tied on money, you will never be happy. I'll say that again. Money is good, good pay is good. But if the entirety of your motivation is tied to your salary increases, your annual bonuses, is tied to monetary factors, trust me, you will never be happy. You know why? You always want more salaries. The company will always hire somebody who is lesser than you in level, who will come and earn more than you. You'll be disappointed. You'll be angry. Right? A lot of factors around money will demotivate you. Right? And if you get to that point where you feel like you are demotivated by money, right? And you can no longer find some intrinsic motivation, maybe it's a time to begin to look out. Because the truth is, why money is good, the mistake that we young professionals make is we put all of our motivation on money. Now, I'll give you an example. I started working in this company, and I was doing more than I was being paid for. Way more than I was paid for. The tendency of that is that and I'm in HR, I'm the one giving offer letters. I see what I'm giving other people. Right? But my own salary is there. The tendency, what that thing could do to me is I allow that to demotivate me, and subconsciously my performance begins to decline. Now, where there's not a correlation of, oh, let's increase his salary, they'll be like, after he's not performing. Nobody would remember that the reason for a decline in your performance was because of salary. Right? You are giving people, whoever is making that decision, something to hold on to that is not doing its best, right? To increase salary. But say, for instance, you see, I somewhat believe in intrinsic motivation, which is internal. Why am I doing this? Is my impact felt on the business? What exactly am I doing? Do I find purpose in what I am doing? If the answer is a yes, try and build internal motivation, and trust me, in no time, your value will be recognized and you will get that money. Now, answer that in one angle. On the other angle, where you know that your company never increases salary, right? Whether you are performing or not, whether you are the best person in that, you can never get inside. Then why are you killing yourself? Just look for another job and get out. But if you know that you're in a business where the chances to grow, chances to earn more is possible, but it's not coming at that moment, I'll say to you, take your eyes away from the money, build performance. I said, people will always gravitate towards value. It is only an idiot, it's only a stupid manager who would see value in you and not appreciate it monetarily. So try not to ensure that, try to see that that doesn't bring you down. But if you're in a place where that will not work, then I beg you, plan your exit.
All right, thank you so much, sir. So moving on to the next question, which will be our last question for tonight, just to manage our time. We have a question from Mr. Shobo again, where he's asking, how do you achieve high performance with a team that have this mentality of just do your job?
Great. See, I have a number of these guys, right? I've been in HR for a while to see that there are a lot of these people in our teams, right? You're trying to fire on. Your ongoing is too much. Are you the MD's son? Is your son name? They'll call the CEO's name. Is your son name so and so? Just in a way to discourage you, drag you down, and you don't have shared KPIs with these people, right? Ensure that your bits of that KPI is done excellently well because somebody is watching. Try and talk to them, try and encourage them, but when they are not ready to go above and beyond, do not let them drag you to their level. Ensure that your bits of that KPI is done excellently well because somebody is definitely watching. See, those same team members, right, are the one who will then come back tomorrow and say, oh, that boy is the best of us. Except they are devils. But if you allow them, or because, they are just do your job, let all of us cuckoo be doing like that now, you will end up bringing yourself to their level and destroying what you are trying to build for yourself. So I've said to you, for such people, do your job, but ensure that your piece of that KPI that has brought you together as a team, your own piece, your own deliverable is done excellently well. Someone is definitely watching.
All right, that's fine. A minute, happiness. Please let me add something to what the guest speaker said now. Mr. Dominic, I actually totally agree with you. Of course, we must ensure that despite the team KPIs, we must ensure that when they want to check everything to yours comes up. But in addition, if you want to really, if you want to get the management approval, after you must have done your work very well, right? There's nothing wrong for you to do a kind of recommendation to the management, right? So in other words, it will make you to even outshine everybody when you are delivering results very well. So when you make recommendation to the management, they can easily listen to you and take your recommendation. Probably they can do a kind of training or probably do a kind of mentorship or coaching for some of the team members to ensure that they come to the same level with you, but ensure you deliver just like Mr. Dominic said. And when you have a good manager or a line manager, you can just make a recommendation and you see that you would even be rated on that. And when there's need for you to, somebody to become the team lead of that team, of course, you will be the number one person to be recommended. At least let me just add that to.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Thanks so much, Mr. Nelson. Thanks so much, Mr. Beniza. Just to wrap this up, thank you once again, Mr. Nelson, Dominic, for your time and for all of the insights. I wish I could quickly, give a brief of the insight I got tonight, but we wouldn't end up leaving tonight. So let me just take it home myself and to my team tomorrow at work. Okay, so thank you so much again for your time. Thank you so much for the insight. We really do appreciate, and we believe that each time we call out to you for to come furnish us with your insights, you grant us audience. So thank you so much again for your time. All right.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Okay. So there's something that people wanted to ask. You mentioned something Pomodoro techniques. Is that we can refer to it? Can you please drop it on the chat box so that we can also. Yeah, the spelling is very important. So get it right. Okay, so that brings us to the end of tonight's session. Just quickly announce we have this edition once in a month, so you can always look out for for this session once in a month. We'll of course let you know. We have all of your contacts, so we can always reach out to you. So, and of course, it's a free webinar. You can always feel free to join, feel free to invite people, and it's a time when you'll be relaxed at home, so you'll be able to gain insight on how well you can thrive in your organization in different aspects. All right, so you can say hi, drop your hi emoji on the chat
Well,
box.
that's true anyway. And happiness, permit me to say so that our participant will be able to appreciate Mr. Dominic very well. I remember we started this free webinar sometimes last year. Mr. Dominic was the first guest speaker. I don't know whether you even remember, right? I think okay. I wanted to send you the link of the first edition of this event to you when we talked about, and having workplace challenges with my HR and the rest. And you've been the friend of the family and of the house. Thank you so much for delivering value tonight. One thing I'm taking away is the why. How is very important, but the why. When you know the why, you even go more than necessary. When you know the why as a salesperson, you know that without you bringing the sales, salary will not be paid. When you know the why, you know as a security person, the company will suffer loss. Why is very key. And to me, I think that's the major thing I'm taking on. Thank you so much, Mr. Dominic. I want us to just appreciate this, my erudite scholar.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so
All right,
much.
guys, you can shoot
So you
and
can drop you can drop your LinkedIn if you want people to follow you. I think I've dropped for Mr. Dominic and myself too. Would like to follow you on LinkedIn or your social media pages. Please drop it. Let's have a kind of career relationship together and see how we can grow together and of course being the best we can be. Thank you so much. Happiness, over to you, boss.
Okay, once again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. Just as I mentioned earlier, this is once in a month. We'll always reach out to you for all of this seminar or edition. Just feel free to join and, of course, invite as many people as possible. So, good night, everyone. You could just